If you're running a solid business, but your marketing still feels like a grind, I totally get you. And I've actually created a free tool that you can use to get on top of it. Link in the description below, and more on that shortly. But look, I know how hard it is to keep building, to keep pushing, to stay visible and relevant while everything around you evolves. Maybe you've even refreshed your brand, tweaked the messaging and tried new content, but something still doesn't feel right and you can't quite put your finger on it. Trust me on this, it's really common, and a lot of founders hit this point, and I've been through it myself actually, more than once. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's usually because the business has grown, but the brand, the thing sitting quietly at the foundation, hasn't caught up. I call that brand misalignment. And it's when the way you talk about what you do no longer matches what you actually do. And it starts to show up in all sorts of ways. Not always obvious at first, but definitely felt. You might feel like you're constantly explaining what you do, and people still don't quite get it. Or maybe the work you're doing now is on a whole other level, but your brand still talks like it's version 1.0. That gap between who you are now and how your business presents, that's the misalignment. It's subtle at first, but over time, it starts to wear you down. You hesitate to show up, and you second-guess your messaging. You spend hours rewriting bios, websites, even offers. But nothing quite lands, because the foundation is out of sync. And if you've been feeling that, it's a sign that you're ready for your brand to evolve. Because here's the thing, when your brand is misaligned, your business starts compensating in all these invisible ways. You take on work that doesn't quite fit because the right people aren't seeing themselves in your message. You over-explain in sales calls because your website isn't doing the heavy lifting. You undercharge, not because your work isn't valuable, but because the way you talk about it isn't showing that value clearly. You create more content, more funnels, more offers, trying to fill a gap that isn't tactical, it's strategic. And that's the real cost. Brand misalignment doesn't just make things feel off, it makes growth harder. It slows momentum and leaks energy. So how do you fix it? Not with a shiny new logo or by hiring another copywriter to fix your messaging. Real brand realignment starts with clarity, the kind that comes from inside, not from a mood board. You've got to get back to the roots of why you started, what you wanted to change, who you're really here for, and what people consistently thank you for. The things they say they couldn't get anywhere else. That's your raw brand DNA. That's where resonance lives. Once you have that, everything else gets easier. Your offers tighten up, your messaging sharpens, your confidence comes back, and people start saying, that sounds exactly like what I need. That's the kind of clarity I built my Brand Clarity Kickstart GPT to help uncover. It's an exploratory thinking tool with fantastic clarity as the output. It guides you through the right questions, so your real brand can surface with honest clarity you can build on. But before I show you how the GPT works, I want to touch on something important. This isn't about throwing your ideas into AI and hoping it spits out magic. That's where a lot of people go wrong. They skip the hard bit, looking inward first. And I get it. Everyone wants fast. But fast without foundation just leads to more noise. What actually makes your brand unique? It's not a clever tagline. It's not a list of services. It's you, your beliefs, your story, the lens you see the world through. That's what we need to extract first, and no tool can give you that unless you're willing to go there. That's why this isn't about outsourcing your brand. It's about creating space to hear yourself more clearly, and then using the GPT to help organize and articulate it in your voice with your language. So by now, you get why these questions matter. They're not just nice journaling prompts. They're the starting point for a brand that actually feels like you. And that's the key here. We need to get it out of you. Not a version of you that fits some branding formula, but the real perspective, the lived experience, the values you've built your business on. That's what gives a brand its resonance. And that's exactly why I built this tool, based on the process I've used and refined with clients for years. A strategic clarity framework that's been pressure tested inside real businesses. I've taken that methodology, layered in the psychology behind how founders express themselves, and turned it into something simple, guided, and powerful. So it doesn't just help you say what you do, it helps you feel seen in the way you say it. That's what the Brand Clarity Kickstart tool is really for, not to replace your voice. but to bring it into focus. But before I show you the tool in action, if you found this helpful so far, please give this a like or subscribe. It helps more than you know, and it lets me keep making things like this for founders like you. So let's get into how the tool actually works. I'll show you how it's set up, the kinds of questions it asks, and how to use it in a way that doesn't just generate words, but sparks real clarity. And I've copied a link to it in the description below. So here we are on the welcome screen, and all you need to do is click Start. It then gets started straight away, and it starts on brand origin and frustration. These opening questions, why you started, what frustrates you, what you wanted to change, are grounded in brand psychology. They're designed to help founders unload raw thoughts and make sense of the chaos. It's a process that brings clarity fast, and we take that unfiltered thinking and shape it into meaningful, strategic brand messaging at the end. So when you do this, really consider your responses, write freely, and to show you how it works, I'll drop in my answers, and you can pause the video if you're interested to see how I write freely. So once those answers go in, it processes through and gives a nuanced reply to affirm what it's taken from you. It will be a lot more detailed once we finish all the questions. So on to this next set of questions, and these ones are designed to cut through the vague target market talk and get to the heart of who you really want to work with. By focusing on how your ideal clients think and feel, not just what they do, we tap into the emotional drivers behind buying decisions. So again, I'll drop in my answers and progress through the output. And the last set of questions are built to uncover the transformation, what your clients actually walk away with, and what sets you apart. They help shift your thinking from features to impact. Because what people remember, recommend, and come back for is how you made them feel, or what you helped them become. That's the space where real brand differentiation lives. So again, I'll drop in my answers and progress through to the final output that we get. And you'll see here that we start to get the full Brand Clarity Kickstart snapshot, and it covers purpose and mission, audience and challenge, differentiator and transformation, and lastly, a brand overview profile. And as you can see, it's super comprehensive, and for me, it's hitting the nail on the head for exactly what I want to say. And the key is, none of it is generic AI thinking. The core essence of it has been derived from my pure thoughts, and that's what makes it unique. And that in turn is what will make it unique to you. So that's the Kickstart. And honestly, it's only about 10% of what's covered in the full system. The brand transformation system is the deeper journey. It's what I use with clients when we go all in on building a brand that's fully aligned, from strategy to messaging to positioning and beyond. The end result is a complete brand blueprint that doesn't just sit in a file somewhere. It becomes the foundation for your own AI-powered brand assistant, one that actually sounds like you, works like you, helps you stay consistent, clear, and confident, wherever your brand needs to show up. If that's something you'd like to explore, there's a link in the description below with more info. So if things have been feeling a little out of sync lately, like your business has grown but your brand hasn't quite kept up, now you know where that tension's coming from, and more importantly, you know where to start. Clarity isn't some distant, abstract thing. It's already in you. You've just got to slow down long enough to surface it, with the right questions, the right structure, and the space to hear yourself clearly again. Whether you use the Kickstart, dive into the full system, or just take some time to reflect, this is your invitation to realign, to reconnect with the brand you've already outgrown, and build the one that matches where you're actually headed. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.